What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the JuiceBox presented by Edgeley. You got Whitey here today, and we're going to be going through some Blast Bounty multi-picks for this weekend. That's going to be Saturday, January the 17th, and Sunday, January the 18th of 2026. Overall, to quickly recap for today, we did go 1-1 on the day. The first parlay that we had, it was just one unit, two-legger. We had Bet Boom on the money line. They came out not necessarily flat looking. I would just say more so Payne looked really, really good. They had two roster changes, Payne Gaming coming into this one, and they looked way better than they looked last season, or that we saw them look at any point, at least near the end of last season. Bet Boom just couldn't compete there. So unfortunately we lost that. Spirit did come through on the -1.5, which is great because we had that on both plays, obviously. And then on the play on the right-hand side, that was our three-legger. That was our big one that ended up coming through here. We had three units on that: PARIVISION, Team Spirit -1.5, and Furia -1.5. Furia won like maybe 5 minutes or so ago, so that ended up clearing that play. On that one, we had three units. It paid 6.57 units, so we picked up 3.57 there. Obviously, we lost a unit over on the left-hand side, so we're up 2.57 units on the day. 1-1 today, but now 4-6 overall, down 0.07 units, so basically break even. And obviously, there's a ton of tournament here left to be able to get into the profit here. So without further ado, let's talk about matchups for both Saturday and Sunday here. I have some parlays for both days, and then of course for all the live action, you're going to want to be in the Discord. Down at the bottom here, discord.gg/LOCKCITY, 100% free. Come cash out with us. We had a couple of nice live winners in there today. I got PARIVISION at +600, or 7 times your money when they were down 12-15 in overtime on Anubis. I got Spirit on the first half of map 1 for a 6-6 halftime score. That ended up coming through as well. So we made an extra couple $100 that way. It's always good to be in the Discord. We're chatting about the games all day long. Down at the screen here, again, 100% free, discord.gg/LOCKCITY. All right, so the teams redrafted here just a couple of moments ago. Tomorrow for Saturday, the 17th, we're going to have Payne and Heroic. We're going to have Gentlemates and Liquid. We're going to have GamerLegion and Aurora. And then we're going to have Monte and Falcons. Again, all best of threes. And then on Sunday, we're going to get kicked off with PARIVISION and Astralis. We're going to have Inner Circle and Team Spirit. We're going to have Eyeballers and Vitality. And then we're going to have FUT and Furia. So 8 pretty decent games from top to bottom. Some of the odds obviously are super lopsided. Some like Spirit and Inner Circle, Eyeballers and Vitality, so on and so forth, are pretty lopsided. But nonetheless, I have 3 parlays, all going to be 2-unit parlays that we're going to have on the board here for Saturday and Sunday. So let's hop on over to Thunderpick and let's see what we have on the board here for starting tomorrow. For those of you that watch the videos regularly, you know that all of the odds that will be discussed in today's video will be on thunderpick.io, which is one of the top books in the world for esports betting. You can deposit on Thunderpick using crypto, credit card, Apple Pay, Visa Debit, or via their new gift card deposit, which allows you to purchase and deposit a Thunderpick gift card amount directly to your balance. And Thunderpick has lines for all of your favorite esports, including but not limited to CS2, League, Dota, Valorant, Overwatch, COD, Fortnite, Rocket League, and so much more. If you visit tinyurl.com/LockCityTP, you can get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $600, or whatever the equivalent is in your local currency. Any amount that you deposit up to $600 will get immediately matched by Thunderpick for you to be able to use for your esports picks. We've obviously been super profitable on CS2, but with that deposit bonus, you can always try your luck with some of your other favorites with that free money to play with. That's tinyurl.com/LockCityTP for a 100% deposit bonus at Thunderpick up to $600. All right, so we're going to have 3 parlays here on the board for both Saturday and Sunday to get us started. And then again, if you aren't already in the Discord, down at the bottom of the screen here, discord.gg/LockCity. It's 100% free. Come cash out with us. Come talk with us. We find a lot of good live spots that we call out there to make some extra money. But all 3 of these plays that we're going to be running for the weekend, we'll take them from right to left because that way they're going to be chronological. So the first one's going to be Payne Gaming on the money line and GamerLegion +1.5 map spread. 2 units, 2.66 times your money is going to pay 5.32 units. The next one in the middle is going to be Team Liquid +1.5 map spread and Falcons -1.5 map spread. Again, both of these games are tomorrow. 2 units, 1.80 times your money is going to pay 3.6 units. And then the last one is going to be PARIVISION on the money line and Furia minus 1.5 map spread. That one's going to be on Sunday. Those two, it's going to be 2 units, 2.72 times your money. That's going to pay 5.44 units. So these are going to be the 3 plays that we're locking in. The first one that we'll talk about here, of course, is going to be GamerLegion and Pain Gaming. So let me just hop over to HLTV. I'm going to have to pull all of these out, or pull all of them up, sorry. So GamerLegion and Pain Gaming. Pain and Heroic will be the first one just because it's 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we're moving back an hour again. This morning we were at 5 a.m. Eastern time, start time. Now we're moving back. It looks like public consensus, 64% Pain Gaming. I would have to agree there. Like I said, Pain looked better today than what I've seen them look better than at any point, like toward the end of last season there. And then Heroic is kind of, I don't want to call them a mess right now necessarily, but like Alcaraz was having visa issues, so they have Youngster coming in here. There's just too much movement for me to be able to trust them. They could potentially win Dust 2. They could potentially win Inferno. They could potentially win Ancient. But with Pain, with what I saw today, Pain's going to win Mirage. I think Pain would win Nuke. I think if we see Overpass, Pain would win Overpass. And I do have to give the edge to Pain on even Inferno and Dust 2. Pain to me on the money line is a no-brainer here. So I'm going to be going with Pain Gaming on the money line, 1.72 times your money as the first leg. And then I'm going to be rocking with GamerLegion plus 1.5 map spread here. So GamerLegion and Aurora. I do think GamerLegion might be able to disrupt Aurora a little bit. Aurora obviously has had movement as well. They now have Soulfly in their roster. They previously had Joda. He's no longer with the team. And then Snacks is over on GamerLegion as the IGL. They have Snacks, Tossin, Hypex, Rez, and PR coming into this one. I do think that GamerLegion, so for the plus 1.5, we obviously need them to win at least a map here. Inferno is the one that sticks out to me. I think that GamerLegion could win Nuke. I think that GamerLegion could win Overpass, but Inferno's the big one. They've played it 9 times, 67% win rate. I expect them to pick into Inferno, and I think that they would win Inferno here. So GamerLegion plus 1.5 is going to be the second leg there. Those two, 2.66 times your money. 2 units is going to pay 5.32 units. And then the next one that we're going to talk about is going to be Falcons and Liquid. So we have Liquid plus 1.5 and Falcons minus 1.5. Liquid and Gentlemates is going to be the first one here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I like Liquid to win this outright, but I just don't trust them to win it outright, if you know what I mean. I think that Liquid, if we saw Dust 2, they would win Dust 2. They should win Mirage. They'd probably lose Inferno to Gentlemates. They should win Nuke. I don't know that we'll see Overpass, and I don't know what to expect if we do see Overpass. Ancient would be really close. I could see Gentlemates winning Ancient, but I would think that Liquid should hopefully win it. I'm expecting that Liquid's probably going to pick into Mirage if they can't pick into Nuke, if Nuke gets banned off the bat there. But I like Liquid to win either of those 2 maps. I think that's where my plus 1.5 is going to come in. That feels way more comfortable for me, at least, than Liquid on the money line. And then the other one is going to be Falcons minus 1.5 against Monte. So Falcons coming down here. There's just not a map that I think Monte, like maybe Inferno, but I don't think Monte is going to be super competitive here whatsoever. We saw Falcons pretty much fly through Ecstatic. At no point was that match super competitive, their first one. Monte obviously looked good, overcoming Na'Vi. That's a good win. That's an impressive win. It puts them on a 5-match win streak here, so they have a lot of momentum. And then there weren't like many options left, but they still did pick into Falcons here. Actually, I think they were the last team, to be honest, so I don't think there were any options left. I think they got stuck with Falcons now that I say that out loud. But I do think that Falcons ends up winning this 2-0. This one, if you're going to end up skipping out on one, I would say this one, because at the end of the day, the odds are only 1.8. And Falcons minus 1.5 is really carrying that. So if you think that Monte, because they look good against Na'Vi, they might be able to take a map off of Falcons, definitely skip this one. It's the lowest odds of the day. And in my opinion, the one with the most associated risk. So if you want to just toss this one to the side completely, I definitely understand that, but that's going to be the second one. And then the third one is going to be PARIVISION on the money line, and then Furia minus 1.5 map spread. And that's going to be for Sunday. So PARIVISION on the money line is the first game of the day on Sunday, 6 a.m. Eastern time against Astralis. Public consensus is 65.2% PARIVISION, which I think is reasonable. We saw Zwei actually perform really well in his first couple of maps with this PARIVISION squad. I was really impressed with him. I thought that PARIVISION played pretty clean CS today. On the Astralis side of things, I think just with them having two roster changes, this matchup is going to potentially get kind of messy there. I like PARIVISION's ability if maps go deep, if they go into the 23rd, 24th round, if they go into overtime. I like PARIVISION's ability to be able to keep pace, to be able to overcome a little bit of adversity and be able to get the job done there. I think PARIVISION, not that we're going to see Dust 2, but they would win Dust 2. They would win Mirage. We're not going to see Nuke. They would win Overpass. They would win Ancient. Inferno's probably the only map that I think Astralis would win. So for that reason, I'm going to be taking PARIVISION on the money line. I think that's pretty safe. I really like PARIVISION there. And then FUT and Furia. I'm taking Furia minus 1.5 map spread. FUT, for those of you that aren't familiar, it was like at this time last year probably. They were the Navi Junior roster. They've been FUT for about like 6 months or so. But they're 27th ranked in the world. Pretty young roster, but a decent roster. And then Furia, obviously number 2 ranked in the world. A lot of trophies last year. Furia's obviously looked really, really good for a long time now. Mirage might stick out, Nuke might stick out, but Furia obviously has been playing top teams in the world on both of those maps, so their win rates, even though they're a little bit lower, the competition is just way, way better. I don't think we're going to see Ancient. That's the one that sticks out to me, just because Furia doesn't really have a lot of reps on it, but again, I don't think we're going to see it. I think they would be comfortable playing Anubis. Banning Ancient, I think that would be the smart thing to do, and then I think Furia would win any other map, even if they're really close. So Furia minus 1.5 map spread is going to top us off here. That's going to be 2 units, 2.72 times your money to pay 5.44 units. And again, these are going to be the 3 plays that we're rocking with for both Saturday and Sunday. So if you like them, let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, make sure to like it, obviously on the page as well. Subscribe to our YouTube or follow us on X, depending on where you are listening. Turn on post notifications, so on and so forth. And we'll see y'all back here once this round is over, this round of 16, and we are getting ready for the playoffs. Take care.